Ladies and gentlemen, people of all genders, welcome to episode 16 of the Meeson Podcast. I am Chef. This is Orale.
Mees and Podcast.
That's Mike Spade. This is Stories of the Dish Pit, an unscripted podcast where we just come up with random things and talk about them. And we have some culinary jargon that's thrown in, and it's just us and you listening to us. Thank you for 140 subscribers. Same as last, but hey, we never give up because the only way you can go from the bottom is to the top, and that's where we're going to go eventually. And welcome. How's everybody doing? How was your week? Everybody's week was good? How are you over there? Did you get your signs down? You got them down? How do they go now again?
Mees and Podcast.
Mees and Podcast.
Wait, do that again.
We're going to get in so much trouble for this right here.
Mees and Podcast.
All right,
I can't do it at all. I have egg shade on my finger from today, just so everybody knows what yellow is. That stain won't come off. Oh, man. So first, let's start off with shout-outs. Mike Spade finally got the patches put on his, I wanted to say, chef coat. I was going to say something else, but he finally got his patches put on his chef coat. So now not only is he a chef, he's also a
walking
representative.
billboard.
He's a representative. Not only is he not only is he a client, he's also a representative. Big shout out to Reds Barkers on Arthur Kill Road, Staten Island. She introduced this week a. Do I have to say it? I have to say it.
An abomination.
It's a burger knish. It's a burger knish.
Hey, how can you go wrong? You got fries with your burger, right?
It's called a knish neck patty whack, I think, but it was a couple of burgers and some cheese slammed between a knish, and who doesn't want to eat that? Any of you people who know the numbers on a pasta box will definitely want a knish and a burger sandwich.
I'm down.
Did you see this? What do you think? What do you think of knish on a burger? A burger on a knish?
Not so much.
You're not a fan of it? Why? It's potatoes, it's meat, it's cheese.
It's everything in a burger deluxe.
I mean, I try.
It's seriously like a pierogi. It's like your people food.
I mean, I'm not a Polish.
No, it's Polish pierogies. Never mind. But it's pierogi. It's like a pierogi.
Have you ever had a pierogi taco?
What?
No.
So the way a taco would be done, but it's served inside a open face a big pierogi. Inside of it, it has meat and cabbage.
That could kind of. I guess that just.
I've seen it in one of the groups that we were in. Like somebody put it on the menu like it was like a new thing.
I love pierogies, but I would.
Me too.
Yeah, I would do damage on that pierogi. Taco sandwich, which is going to bring us into our main conversation tonight because we've been having a debate all night.
But before you go there,
hold on. Still got to shout out Throttle Junkies, one of the best bike shops out on Long Island, Deer Park Avenue, Route 231 for all my Long Islanders from back in the day where we used to cruise and drag race until they cut us off. I was a Guido, so I never really drag raced. I just cruised around in a Buick Regal with heart-shaped pinstripes on the back with the heartbeat pinstripe. I had that busted freestyle. Oh my goodness! It's a Polish taco.
That's exactly what.
So that's just what I mean. Everything's a taco. Everything can be a taco. A gyro.
Mm-hmm.
Did we say it right? Gyro or gyro? It's a Mediterranean taco. But we'll get into that whole conversation. So Throttle Junkies on 231. Brings us into what we were talking about. So we have these. There's these. It's going to bring us into a lot of stuff. So, all right, you ready? Salisbury steak, meatloaf, hamburger, and a meatball. Where is it's all the same base. So now what was your theory on all of this?
A meatloaf is a really big meatball.
Or a great singer.
Sure. No, I get it. But a hamburger is not a meatloaf or a meatball because a hamburger does not have all the other fixings that you need in order to make a meatloaf and a
So what constitutes a hamburger?
just meat and spices. That's
Seasoned
it.
beef
Seasoned.
between two
There's
buns.
no filler.
There's no filler.
There's no filler.
Lettuce
There's no,
and
like,
tomato,
bread filler.
onions is an option.
No,
But a
vegetables
burger
are
is
an
just
option.
burger is just a patty.
Right, a
That's
patty
what
on a
it
bun.
is. It's a patty. So you got Salisbury steak, TV dinners. We were just talking about that
See,
earlier.
the thing is with the burgers and the patties and things like that, like in Motherland, one of the things that we had was it looked like burger patties, but the way they were done was the way meatloaf would be done. Like it would be stuffed with bread and other things because when during Depression era and everything needed to stretch out rations and everything like that, so they needed to make the meat go by.
But what did they call it?
Котлеты.
And does that mean hamburger?
No, it means cutlets.
Okay, so it's not a hamburger. I was right. So it's
What are those little dumplings they sell at net cost that got the meat in them? What are those little things? There's a name for them.
Пельмени.
Huh?
Пельмени.
Probably.
It's like Russian ravioli.
Yeah. Or
пельмени.
tortellini, right?
Yeah.
Oh, those.
They look
are
like meat,
good. Yeah,
like meat tortellini.
meat tortellini. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
yeah.
Pельмени is great.
Oh man, those are good.
Got to write that down. We're not going to be able to spell it.
But that goes into, so you have a hamburger, which is a patty, a seasoned meat patty between two buns.
Correct.
Then you have a meatloaf, which is technically a smashed meatball, which is really Salisbury steak, no matter what way you put it. Or if you go to a diner, what's a chopped steak?
Burger patty. That's all it is. What's a chopped cheese?
I mean,
It's a burger patty.
I mean, the
But it's all-
burger
it's all-
came from chopped steak. If the way it was originally done, if you go by the legend of, that it was done in Connecticut, the bird.
The story, is it Connecticut or is it
No, it's Connecticut.
Is it Boston,
No, it's
that bar?
Connecticut.
Is it Connecticut?
Connecticut. Like either Newburgh or something like that. And they were short on food and they needed to pump out lunch for somebody. So they had a bunch of like steak leftover pieces. So they chopped it up and served it on white toast and
On white toast.
and that place still to the day sells it on white bread.
Is that the same place that does it in the stand-up, in the stand-up like broilers from like the 1800s? It's like the first day. It's
Might
something
be.
lunch, right?
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
lunch. What's
Yeah,
the name
yeah.
of it? Something I got to look it up. Here, talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you as a topic. A chickpea is neither a chick or a pea. Converse for a few minutes.
Nice.
Wait, what's it? Larry's Lunch? Is it? What the hell is the hamburger place in Boston? Hold on, Connecticut. Please hold. But that
Time
brings
out.
to the same thing. To like Salisbury steak, meatloaf. A meatloaf is listen. It's technically
meatloaf is a bigger
it's
meatball. That's all it is.
No, but it's technically kind of a smashed hamburger too. If you take the bread and the egg out of it, I know you
It's a
got that in
meatloaf.
it. It's the same thing. But what do you glaze a meatloaf with?
Ketchup.
Lewis's lunch
Lewis's Lunch. I knew it was somebody's
in
lunch.
New Haven,
No, in
Connecticut.
New Haven,
Okay, wait,
Connecticut.
hold on. My
that
point
place
is-
still does it with the broilers. They do it. That's all you get. You don't get nothing with it. You go in there, you get a hamburger, and you can't.
That's fine.
Ketchup to me is sauce Americana. I would put ketchup on ketchup if I can. I love friggin' ketchup.
And we need to
Over
make
there,
a road
you
trip
can't even
over
answer
there.
it, huh?
We need to do a road trip.
Okay.
We got a lot to do in 30 days, bro.
So, so my argument is that a meatball is just a smaller version of a meatloaf, okay? But a hamburger is neither of those.
But they're different.
A hamburger it's its own thing because it doesn't have egg, it doesn't have breadcrumbs, it doesn't have any of these extra things that you put in.
But the names technically come from, correct me if I'm wrong, one looks like a loaf, one looks like a ball.
right.
But if you
that's
smash
the only
either
difference.
of them, you get Salisbury steak.
Sure, let's go with that.
No.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's right. You're right.
A Salisbury steak has to be formed, which is weird because
So
you
it's
can
a
do it
smashed
with, you can do them
meat-
without.
It's
I
a
mean,
smashed meatloaf instead of a smash burger. It's a
Smloaf.
smash
some loaf.
schmoaf.
I don't know. What do you guys think out there? You think are we on the same track? I mean, I don't know. TV dinners back then, all that pre-form stuff was the way to go. I mean, the
It was
Salisbury
simple.
steak. I saw the picture today with like 6 Salisbury steaks in a tray. it was the TV dinner with that foil,
Cellophane?
that foil like container it came in.
Right.
You know, that you'd pop in and they were just the 6 there and it was like the family meal. Now that family meal is like for me. You know,
No, you're absolutely
but
right.
those
And
were
it's also
great-
more
those were great.
expensive now.
But I think I don't know, and it's I don't know, it's a fun discussion to have. I mean, I know that everybody will be like, oh, they're different things. This is why it's called this, and this is the source, but it's also the same the same basic. You could take one and make them into another because if you're in the restaurant business, you've probably done that before.
Okay.
And a Swedish meatball is more. The difference is
it's cooked in a. Go ahead.
A Swedish meatball is more like a pate.
Okay.
So I've been taught that when you're doing a Swedish meatball, you wanna whip your meat. So you want to bring out the fat in it till it's almost like a pate consistency. I mean, not the same concept as a pate, but it's the same consistency as to where you bring that fat out and it forms really, really nice. Because when you cut into a Swedish meatball, you ever notice that it's almost smooth like?
Yes.
Where if you cut into a regular meatball or anything like that, it's not because it's not whipped as much. You don't. I would do a Swedish meatball in a mixer.
Right.
Meatballs, meatloaf. I got to make meatloaf tomorrow. Meatballs, meatloaf, I do by hand. Salisbury steak.
By hand, not a mixer.
Not a mixer. These are my mixes, baby.
Nice.
These are the 5 mix, the 10 mixes
The
of
10 mixers.
chef.
Okay. So that means it's just everything's just hand powered by you.
Yeah. That's a good. And your meat's got to be at room temperature because you ever try to mix cold meatballs or meatloaf, man, your hands freeze to death. It sucks.
So yeah. So like I was saying, meatballs, meatloaf, same thing. Hamburger meat, totally different. It's not the same.
We used to have things growing up. We used to eat things. And if you come from old school houses, so when my mother or grandmother would fry, we called them things. And they would fry the meatballs or whatever before they put them in the sauce. All the breading from whatever that was on the tips and left in the bowls, they would make that into little cutlets and fry them up. And that was the kids. That was all our lunches. That's what we call them things because
that was the thing.
Those were the things. Those are the things. We also ate in the farmers market in Hicksville, Long Island. They'd clear off the bottom shelf and sit all of us kids on it. And then my mother would go around and she would, do the shopping. My grandmother would be there with us. My aunt would come by with a loaf of bread, break it off for us. Another one would come by would come by with the knife and the pepperoni. Give us that. We all sat there with it. They had a merry-go-round in there. That was
you're a good kid. Here's a slice of pepperoni.
Here's a slice of pepperoni and some sharp provolone. Shut your mouth. You're going home soon.
I would love that. Are you kidding me? Just sitting there and they're like, here's some food. All right, cool. Okay.
But yeah, it's the great Salisbury steak hamburger debate. I mean, but then you could take a meatloaf and put it on a sandwich. Is it a sandwich? Is it a hamburger?
No, it's not a hamburger.
It's a meatloaf sandwich.
That's it.
It's a crazy mixed-up world we're living in, bro.
Which brings us to the other thing, or a taco, or a gyro, whatever you want to call it. What else is there? Tacos, gyros, and what else? Are they sandwiches?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Are they sandwiches? Hell, even a hamburger. Is a hamburger a sandwich?
What's a sandwich?
Protein in between
Google
bread.
it. What is a sandwich by
Okay.
Meat between
something.
two pieces
should
of
be
bread.
something between two pieces of bread.
Okay.
But
so
you don't call a hamburger a sandwich. You don't say, "Hey, let me get a." How would you even say that?
Okay.
I'm gonna go to
So
Reds and be
Oxford
like, "Can
Dictionary.
I get a hot dog sandwich?"
Hold on. Oxford Dictionary says a sandwich is an item of food consisting of 2 pieces of bread with meat, cheese, or other filling between them, eaten as a light meal.
So if it's a hamburger.
Yeah. A hamburger, a taco, a gyro, a hot. Did I say hot dog already? Yeah.
Tacos, Mediterranean tacos, gyros.
Yeah.
We call gyros,
So,
gyros.
great.
We just had some good ones tonight. We went to.
I'm glad we're all
went to
on the
something
same
great.
page. Everything is.
But
the
then
same.
what would the
Then in
Salisbury?
that case, roti would be Caribbean tacos.
Yes.
A roti would be a Caribbean taco.
Right. There you go.
Everything's a taco,
Wait,
man.
hold
I
on.
said this in one minute. If you fold it in
the
half,
roti
it's a
wasn't
taco.
created in the Caribbean. It was created in India. So technically, it's Indian tacos
Oh, I'm all confused now.
because the Indians brought it to the Caribbean.
Makes sense.
Okay. So there we go.
Not the indigenous.
No, not the Native
Not the
Americans.
Native Americans.
The Indians from India.
Ding dong, not how.
What?
So ding dong, not how.
I was gonna say the feather, not the dot, but okay, fine. Same thing. I know.
Horrible. You guys still eat TV dinners? Have you ever had a TV
No,
dinner?
that's garbage.
Every time I
man.
make Salisbury steak at work, I'm like, it's Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes, and peas of carrots. I'm like, it's a fucking
Right.
TV dinner.
But
I love
you're
it.
making it. That's
I
the
love it.
difference, though.
What if
You're
you-
making it. You're not going to
Well,
the
there's
supermarket
there's
in the
gourmet-
frozen
Oh, the
section.
banquets were good.
From my job, one of the spin-off companies.
Don't say the names.
one of the spin-off companies, they have it's essentially gourmet TV dinners. Like it's fully prepared, and it takes 2 minutes for any dish to reheat it. And
that's a great. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ordered when you guys all first started there. I ordered from you guys.
I still get for the past like 2 years.
I was like, my wife looked at me. She's like, we need to order 6 of these.
But it's
I mean,
portion,
a zucchini this big.
But it's portion control. That's why Miami used to get for a family when it was for him.
Shout out to Miami for keeping that place in flow.
Miami Matt for keeping it real. If you all don't know, Miami Matt does a lot of he's been tattooing me for God knows how many years, man. We've been friends for 30 years. He tattoos Oleg. He's at
Miami, time to sponsor us.
Tattoo Mania, you got to sponsor us. But big shout out to Miami Matt. Did my knuckles, did my hands, did, I don't know, steaks on me, raviolis, and a bunch of other stuff. Man, funny. Salisbury steaks. What do you call a Salisbury steak if you put it on bread?
A Salisbury steak sandwich.
Sandwich? Or is it Salisbury?
No, sandwich, yeah.
Yeah?
Sandwich.
It's got mushrooms. There's a mushroom burger.
So what? It's in
still,
between.
you put it on bread, it's a hamburger.
Right? That's it. It's a sandwich.
And then you got a patty.
You're an
We're
idiot
all over the
sandwich.
place. This is nuts.
So is the grilled cheese a sandwich?
Yeah. What wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
It's a
It is.
grilled cheese sandwich.
It's something between 2 pieces
In the
of
name.
bread.
Exactly. So the fact that we're arguing about this makes no sense because it's two pieces of bread and
So,
in between them.
I guess what we can come down to is let's agree to disagree. Anything between two pieces of bread is a sandwich.
Yeah,
So if you put a cheese between 2 croutons.
that's a sandwich.
It's bread.
It's a crouton sandwich.
Pierogies rule. There's a such thing as Mediterranean tacos. You call them gyros. Like Fluffy said, sometimes you go to a cart up here to order something, and you might be getting tacos, but the guy behind it is Greek. You go to we go to the halal cart. We go to a halal cart in New York. If you want Greek food, if you want a gyro, you go to the Greek place. We went to something Greek tonight. If you want halal food, you order a gyro from the halal cart.
There you go.
I think that's how it
And
works.
it will all be made by Mexicans.
No, not at the halal cart.
today-
I've never seen.
No way.
I've
At the
never
halal
seen
cart?
that. No way. No.
No, there's not.
No,
you're not
there
gonna
isn't.
get that. But when we went to get Greek food tonight, that's what you were going to say.
Yeah,
Who was
there
going
was,
together?
there was all
Pablo,
Mexican.
Paco, Joaquin, and Michelle.
Yeah,
But the
were
guy,
all there.
hold on. The guy taking the order.
Mexican.
100% Mexican. The only girl that was Greek that worked
Was
there
a
was
waitress.
probably the owner's daughter, and she was bagging the product. That she was
So
100%
there you go.
Greek. I could tell she looked like you without the beard.
Nice.
Just she had a goatee.
Wow.
Just like Yaya.
We're on a roll tonight. Okay, we are just we're gonna get canceled by tomorrow morning. So
Oh man, good time. So that's what we've come up with is things between bread are sandwiches or tacos. Well, or Mediterranean tacos or something like that. And Oleg likes pierogies.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Whatever makes you happy, man. I like pierogies. Pierogies are cool.
What do you guys think, man? Tell us about Salisbury steaks, meatloafs, meatballs, and hamburgers.
Oh wait, hold on. I just got an idea.
Oh God.
Hold on. Reds, knish snack patty whack, right? Is that a sandwich though? It's not, because it's not between bread, it's between potato.
What do you call it? It was in deep thought with Oleg.
I'm trying to be nice.
You have nothing nice to say. I'm usually the
you call
cranky
it?
one. I came.
I stick to what I said in Abomination.
Oh, Oleg doesn't like the knish burger, the knick-knack paddywhack. Red, I think you guys are going to have to battle this out or something like that.
We're going to have to do a pay-per-view where...
You're going to have to make him a believer.
I don't know. It just seems very dry. I may be wrong.
Yeah.
I could see why you say that, but, you know, if you're somebody like Chef who puts ketchup on top of ketchup...
Yeah,
I
but
hate-
also
I
I,
hate
make.
ketchup.
I love ketchup.
Well, I have a good idea for that. The solution is when you guys go to Reds, you have to order the Mise en Podcast
Wait,
hot sauce.
wait.
in order to get that
Wait
sandwich.
a second. Now it gets weird. Now it even gets. Now here's the bigger conspiracies. Now I'm thinking about this. It's ketchup, right? What do you put on a hamburger?
Ketchup.
What do you put on a knish?
Ketchup.
No.
No mustard.
Oh, so now what do you put on this fucking thing?
You put mustard on the bottom and ketchup on the top.
You see, here's my solution. Make a mustard grilled flat burger.
Mustard grilled.
A slider should be mustard
What they
grilled.
should put is Dijon.
Dijon.
So fancy mustard.
Is it Grey Poupon?
Sure.
Please pass the grape Poupon.
I like
these
if
all
I
over the
if I
place.
have the choice, like I will actually put Dijon mustard on burger instead of like regular mustard and ketchup.
I like Dijon on a burger.
Like
I do. I love that.
It gives it that extra bit of a kick that
that
the zinc from the wine in it.
So
I think it's
I
great.
like spicy brown mustard better. I like the grainy mustard.
It is. It's good.
like a stone ground. No, but I like a Dijon. A Dijon on a burger. There's
Yeah,
nothing. Like
it really it's
There's
great.
nothing like it.
You know what? People in Greece do that too, but they don't eat the
There
burger.
we go. In Greece.
But in Greece, they don't eat
let
the
me tell
burger
you
with
where
a
the
bun.
hamburger come from. The Greek word amboguski. We.
He is so far off today. Anyway, so, well, yeah. I mean,
Also, I gotta say something. If you're putting accoutrements on your burger or any type of food,
condiments for those that don't understand.
I'm a lettuce, tomato, thin slice of red onion guy. Do not give me this fucking type of tomato on any type of sandwich because
one.
I know this one. I know. What was the first thing you said to me when I showed it to
I
you?
would slice it again.
And you give me the end? And this is, you don't do that. You don't put this on a sandwich. Pardon my half-eaten pita bread of my gyro. But don't give me this. Don't give me this. You just cut your fucking tomato, cut that in half. I wouldn't want that on a sandwich. I hate when I go into a place.
But
and the
that cut
tomatoes aren't
just
cut the
shows you
same
that
size.
it wasn't even started right, you know? Because if you start your cuts right, you'll never have a piece that's a beef's dick on one side and half an inch on the other. It's a legitimate measure.
Is that a measurement of
Yeah,
bee's
cunt
dick?
hair and the bee's
Stop,
dick.
you can't use that one. I don't think we could use that word. Bee's dick works better.
It's two different measurements.
No, wait, a bee's dick and a cunt hair are two different.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. This world today is going crazy. What's going on over here?
I don't know.
But anyway, don't give me that tomato. If you're in the kitchen, cut all your tomatoes equally. Because if I'm sitting at a table with him, I'm going to show him my tomato like I just did and say, why the hell do I have this tomato on my sandwich? I'm so mad. I can't do that. My OCD in the kitchen, it's got to be the
blame
same.
you. What was that word that you were talking about? That we can't say on the air?
You looked for 30 seconds for that. I don't know. That's where we stand. It's a big debate on Salisbury steaks, on everything. Anything could be made into a sandwich.
That's it.
Red
Created her own
Red's creating her own rules. We don't know if it's a sandwich. I don't know what it is. It's a knish witch. A knish witch. It's
I like
knish
that.
witch. It's like a chip witch, but with a knish.
That's it. Yeah. You know
I
what?
tried 3 times last week to send him Knish, and I couldn't spell it right. He's like, you can't even spell fucking Knish. I'm like, K-A-N. I was so mad. I'm like, K-A-N-I-S-H, K-E-N-I-S-H. He's like, I'm like, shit, it's K-N-I-S-H. Oh, man. I don't know. That's all I got. I don't have much more. You have anything much more, man? It's, again, here we go. Closing of Red's Barkers. Somebody's coming in to order a Knish witch knick-knack, Knish paddywhack. It's a burger. Check out Red's. Oleg, you got a tip of the day for us or what?
Yeah, I do, actually. Today, somebody asked me a question about food prep, and perfect tip of the day. How to prepare creme brulee style things without torch. How to
Without a torch?
Without a torch. How to caramelize the sugar without using a torch.
How do you caramelize the sugar without using a torch?
Well, if you're in the professional kitchen setting where there is a salamander, you could just roast, fire it off in the salamander.
And what is a
for little-
salamander for our viewers that don't know exactly what that is?
An open-faced oven?
It's a it's a broiler.
It's a broiler.
It's the same thing. Heat from
And
above,
if for people who are at home, just use the bottom of the oven for your broiler.
which we call the broiler.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Oh,
that's
you mean
it?
that spot where everyone puts their pots and pans?
Yes.
That's
Wait.
an actual usage?
Yeah, it's a broiler.
Oh my
it's
God,
not just a storage.
I actually use that, and I have it.
Mine's empty.
My wife laughs at me because I'll put something down there, and I'm like down on the floor, check. I'm like this, like, oh, I can't get up. I gotta look at it.
I've known so many people to melt, to melt handles and.
I did that at a private.
Stuff,
I did
they
that
put
at a
in there.
private
They
catering
don't
event.
realize that it's on.
I got into this event. I got into this lady's apartment. I go to do a setup in like Jersey City. I go to do it. And I turn the oven on, and like 10 minutes go by, and I'm like,
What does that smell?
I'm like, oh, somebody's burning plastic, and the smoke's coming out of the oven. They got like 30 people in the apartment. I'm like, the fucking cutting boards and everything were in there. I was like, oh, sorry.
Should have never put them in there. That's not what it's
never
for.
put them in there. You can't put anything in the oven. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. This is episode 16 of the Mies and Podcast, Stories from the Dish Pit. I am Chef.
Orderly.
That's Orderleg.
Mike.
That's Mike Spade. And we're out of here. We'll see you for another nonsense episode of episode 17, which is not our quinceañera. Peace out, sauerkraut.